What up guys, my name is Carl and today I'm going to be talking about Journey's End. Journey's End. I saw this movie on Amazon Prime. I was curious about the title. Why would a director choose this kind of title? I was curious, what is it about? Who's involved? Where does it take place? When? So the title intrigued me and I was like, you know what? I read the synopsis, what this movie is about. So I give it a shot. So okay. So this movie take place during World War I. It take place in the trenches. I can't remember. It was on I think it's I want to say the Eastern Front. I can't remember exactly where it was, but they were in the trenches. So that's where the story take place. And we follow this one guy who is, I would say, I would say he's kind of like he's an officer, and he is transferred to this platoon to be with his, I guess, his classmate who happened to be a captain. And so that's what this start. So let's talk about what I like about this movie. I like the fact that this movie it's extremely slow. Like, I guess I wouldn't say that's a good thing, but it's slow for a reason, because you are fighting in the trenches. You're 60 feet from each other. You think it is slow because you don't want to fire the first shot or fire the first mortar round, that sort of thing, because you're right across from each other. I like the grittiness, the griminess of it, the darkness. There's no real actual light, especially in the officers' compartment, so to speak. It's just under the ground, basically. That's where it really is. There's no light. It's just guns and bullets and a trench hole where they can really just duck down. So it was very, very, very. World War I is very dangerous. It's almost dangerous. It's almost the men don't want to go over the trench because it's that dangerous. You get sniped, get mortar rounds, and that stuff here. And what else did I like? I like the captain. I thought he does a really, really, really good job of, he's a drunk, basically. That's what he really is. He's an alcoholic. He drank too much, and you're not quite sure if that alcohol is affecting his, his leadership, his command, his the way he thinks and how he operates. I like that because it shows that not just the captain but every single soldier are going through the same thing. They're holding on to their life. They're hoping that the mortar doesn't hit them or the bullet round doesn't hit them. That sort of stuff. So everybody's on edge, regardless if the soldiers say that they're scared, but they're all on the edge, and you can sort of pick up a little bit here, but more so to the captain. You could tell that he's responsible for the life of these men. But not just that, but you could tell like he's almost like a dictator. He's almost I wouldn't exactly call him a good officer. I want to call him a borderline not psycho. He's borderline not a good officer, because he abuses his power. Really, he's abusing his power. A lot of time, he's verbally abuses his subordinate, his second lieutenant, his third in command. So he's a very abusive captain. But he has a good heart, but he's flawed and he's abusive. What else? I like the second command. I thought he does a really good job. He's very, he is the second command and the third in command. The second command really, like, when they about to go run out to capture that one German, he was comforting the one of the officers, say, hey, we got to do this. This is part of war, and we leave our stuff behind. If this happened to me, you do this. So I feel like the second command really have characters. He's I guess more of the, I want to say he's more of the what's the word for it? He's more humble. He's the side of the of reason, or the side of understanding. So I like that here, and I also like the third in command. He really showed one of the officers what's going on, where you're not supposed to go, and he understand what they need to do, and he understands that his captain is very an alcoholic. He's abusive and that sort of thing. So, and I also like that even the main character who transferred to this platoon, he's, you can tell that he sees the difference between his captain. He thought he was his friend, but wasn't really his friend. His friend is obviously abusive. He's an alcoholic. Again, I always say that in this review. It's an alcoholic. He sees sort of the other side of his friend, the abusive side, the sort of the dictator side of his friend. So that was really interesting to see. What else did I like? I just like the ending is really sad because everybody else dies. It sort of makes sense because it's his journey's end. So what else did I talk about? What I don't like about this movie is that it's very, very, very slow moving. It's not a lot of character development. You do get to see a little bit with the main characters and of moving forward, but then nothing happened. Nothing really happened because everybody died because it's World War One, and in the trenches is because they get hit by mortar round. So it's kind of slow. Not a lot of cinematic shot. Not a lot of story. Not a lot of sound score to really enhance the story. So that's why there's not a lot bad about this movie. It's just extremely slow. So what was the rating I give this movie, guys? I give it a 5 out of 10 at best, maybe even a 4, but I feel like it deserves a 5 because it does give you an idea of what is to, what is for the soldier who fight in the trenches and during World War I in the Eastern Front, in fighting against Germany in the trenches. So you get a sense of idea of, how these men think, how they feel, what's going on inside their head, how they feel about this war, and how they feel about the whole situation. You get an idea here of how these men feel, like they have to sort of go through and follow a captain who's alcoholic, who's abusive. You get a glimpse of what's going on inside the head of these men. So I give it a 5 out of 10. It's average at best. It's a good. I like the story and I appreciate the story. We get to see that, and I like that because we get to see more of a different sort of a story that take place during World War One, World War Two. Korean, the Vietnam Wars, those sort of like those wars that happen, even whether they're small or big, that we get sort of different perspective, different stories. So I like that. So I give it a 5 out of 10, guys. It's called Journey's End. Journey's End. But anyway, guys, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse to my YouTube channels. I have a lot of content for you guys to check out. Please do so. Thank you so much and take it, guys. Bye-bye.